Hello, beautiful. We are in the thick of this incredibly powerful, somewhat deep eclipse season. We are about to enter into another portal right off of the last one that's barely closed. It is a wild time. I think it's time for a divine feminine reading, don't you? So let's start. Oh my God. Okay. This is 1111 to me. I know some people won't see that, but I do. Ego, life experience, or the devil and the tower. We're not stuck where we think we are. Our fears will not overcome us. Once that clicks, that revelation will bring with it many more. Okay? This is a time where we should be confident. We should be excited. We should be ready. Something is coming. Something is, I think to say it's coming would indicate like coming soon to a theater near you one day. No. I need coming on Christmas Day, coming on Thanksgiving. You know how it's like there's the tentative movie date and then there's the definite. I feel that this coming is a definite. It's already on the way. The movie's done. We just are scheduling things out. You understand? Okay. Seven of Cups. And there is a lot that needs to be done to prepare for it. In fact, the procrastination of the past season is now going to catch up with those who really just didn't believe, didn't trust, didn't think that there was a win coming for them. They didn't think that there was something good coming for them. And they got a little bit lackadaisical. So if that's been you, if you've been like, uh-oh, oh no, triggered, that was me. It's okay. Because you're getting this reading, which means that can't be you. You understand that? It can't truly be you if divine is making you aware. You don't have to allow that fear to overwhelm you either. All right, let's split. So we have a major revelation about the truth of our reality that is going to help us not only accept with confidence the opportunities that come our way, but also be truly prepared for them so that we can appreciate them, so we can enjoy them, so that we can find our path. Why is divine doing this now and in the midst of such chaotic energy? Like, can you give me this at a time where things are chill? No, here, let me give it to you when everything's insane. Why? Because in truth, what divine is offering you could only come from chaos, could only come from, I mean, truly, it's like birthing pains, the groaning and the utterings of your soul. What is coming? What is being offered to you? It's more than you ever anticipated. And it's going to be so unexpected, even though you've been waiting for it. Isn't that weird? It's like, how is that possible? It's like, you know that the Uber is coming, but what about that Uber showing up would make you think, whoa. And it's like, maybe it's not an Uber. Maybe it's a limo. You see my point though, right? What are we missing? What have we not thought about what divine has been doing this whole time and why everything seems to come around these just tumultuous times? Ugh, Page of Wands. 11. Divine knows you. That should feel like important, not just like, oh, you know how you are. Not like that. Divine knows you. Divine created you to be the creator that you are. I mean, divine knows you. And divine knows that as much as you might not like this, you are damn good under pressure. You are damn good. Some of you are going to be like, I don't know about that, Grace. But let me ask you, have you ever really, really dropped the ball for real, for real? I'm going to say, if you're here listening to this right now, I don't think that's possible. You got this. You just don't know it yet. You got this. You just don't know what divine has been bringing you to. You haven't discovered that part yet. And once you make the discovery, then you'll expect the unexpected. Okay, spiritually, what do we need to know? 11 again to start us off. Okay. Four of Swords, Seven of Wands. Two cards that point to the challenges that life can present and the ways that we are expected to work through said challenges. And I think that knowing when to fight, when to defend what you believe in, when there is healing that is required before the fight or instead of the fight, knowing which way to handle every problem is something that I think does take time. I know that a lot of people, because I'm not 40 yet, guys. I'm only in my 30s. And sometimes I'll say stuff and it's like, if you think I'm older, a lot of people think I'm in my 50s and 60s. A lot of people, for some, I don't know what it is about my light skin, but people think I'm like a 50-year-old white woman, which I'm always like, oh, that's fun. Okay. But it's like people think when I say somebody, maybe there's a youth, there's like an age thing, but age really does bring wisdom. There's a lot of stuff that I knew because I graduated high school at 16, was on my own, raised my sisters, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a lot of stuff I don't, that I can't, that I won't until time. Like you don't get what it's like to feel like, and be 40 or 50 or 60. You don't know that phase until you're there. And I think in the spiritual community, we can get upset when someone reminds us of where we are. But it's like, wait, why are you upset about being you right now in this beautiful moment? I want all of us to work on this, knowing when it's time to lay back, meditate, reflect, face our heartbreak and our troubles head on, when it's time to pick up our sword, when it's time to move forward, when it's time to fight. And to know and accept that we might be in our 80s, 90s before we really feel like I can handle life. And that's one of the hard parts about being human, that even being a spiritual being, it cannot save you from those things. It cannot stop you from experiencing moments of, I don't know, I'm unsure, I feel bad and I can't fix it, I reacted in a way I shouldn't. No matter where you're at, just know divine is working on the part of you that is going to be able to handle what comes next in a way that makes you feel better, in a way that where you can tell I handled this differently than I would have last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And that will never stop. That will never end. Healing never stops. It doesn't mean that pain always goes on, that the same pain always goes on. It just means there's always something new. It's the same as me being a Christian for 30 something years, but I can open the Bible and read the same dang verse every year on the same day, whatever, and still be like, dang, oh, dang, oh, dang, oh, dang. Some of you have favorite books, spiritual books, different things that you've learned where you could read that thing top to bottom, back and forth 1,000 times and still just be in awe of it. I want you to know that you are like that book. You are like that book, dear. There is so much more to you. And every time you try to say, I'm done, I'm done, I'm done, you're limiting yourself. The Fool is always ready for the new beginning. Funny that we have the Fool with the golden light energy. We can see the truth. The truth is in this person, even though the pain is over them. The pain is overwhelming them. But we also saw the Seven of Wands, which is the card I say, that's the a few days before the Fool. So a few days before the Fool goes and takes his sleep, he goes out and he fixes, because there was all these branches sticking up. So he clears them out so that they don't catch on his, because he knows he's going to wear this really fluffy shirt and this flowy shirt. And he just knows every time he walks by a doorknob, this little sleeve, it gets caught on the doorknob. So when he saw all those sticks, he knew he had to clear those sticks out. This is a divine feminine who, spiritually speaking, knows it's time to clear the path, to clear the way, to make room, but doesn't understand why. But the beautiful thing about your spirit is you don't need to understand, because you know. Your spirit knows what your physical doesn't. Oh, and Knight of Swords. And I love that it's still coming up with this Four of Swords. And it's telling us some things. It's telling us we need to know when to clear a path. We need to know when to go back and solve a problem, to fix something, to focus on the things that we've been not dealing with, like the original message I got here. We've got to know when to fight, when to yield. We've got to know. And spiritually speaking, the beauty is our physical might disagree. Our physical might do things. Our physical might react. Our physical might make us shamed and embarrassed and all kinds of things. But our spirit always knows. That's, I think, where the shame comes from. Because after the moment, you think, oh my gosh, I know not to do that. Why did I do that? And we get so focused on the shame that we miss the fact that we know and we probably won't do it again. And every time we make that mistake, we probably won't do it again after that. And we get less and less likely to do the same dumb stuff that we were ashamed of from before. Divine's trying to talk to somebody. If this doesn't resonate, go click off. There's plenty of other stuff you can watch on my channel and all over YouTube. But I know, I don't do DF readings often, but I know today this someone is crying right now. It's okay. What do you need to know? Yeah. 11 again. Yeah. What divine is doing in your life, no one can stop. Not even you. You can't make it better if it's not supposed to be. Sorry. But you can't make it worse. The only way you could make it worse is if you got information you weren't supposed to have. But divine's not going to give you that. Sorry. The Wheel of Fortune. It is time to manifest. It is time to look forward and say, what would make me feel better tomorrow? What would make me feel better a week from now? What would make me feel better a year from now? What would make me feel better 5 years from now? What will make me feel better 10 years from now? What will make me feel better when I'm gone? And if every answer to that was my DM, my DM, my DM, honey, it might be time for us to have a conversation. At the very least, it might be time for you and your spiritual self to have a conversation. Because you've made that person your idol. You've made that person your everything. But if the answer was, I would like to see reunion, but I also would like to be in my purpose. I would like to feel better. I don't like how I've been feeling. I don't like the longing in my soul, how it's dragging me down, but I don't want to get rid of it. How am I going to make it beautiful? I don't like how I've been responding to people and to things because I miss my person. So how am I going to act instead? I don't like questioning my personality and wondering, dang, did I push my DM away? And then having to run from that thought because it's terrifying. I don't want this anymore. I don't want these feelings. I want my beautiful life. And I can have my beautiful life without my person and with my person because it's my beautiful life. What do I want? What do I see? What matters most to me? Ask a question right now. You don't have to type it. You don't have to say it to anybody but yourself. Ask Divine a question right now. I'm going to do it too, okay? That way I can I'm going to take a second to interpret for me. Ready? What's the answers to the question you just asked? The answer is not forever, but for a time. Don't get lost in pretending. Don't ignore your heart. And ask yourself, why is it still this? I cannot go into any further detail because you all asked individual questions. If you need to pause, rewind, rethink your question, listen to what I said again, don't miss this. This was important because what I just heard from me, on point. You notice the gold. You notice the gold. There is something divine wants to give you. There is something divine wants you to see, to feel, to hear, to have, to hold, to possess. Let's look at the physical. As you're being instructed to plan for the days to come, to not focus on where you are and to stop embracing the feeling that this is it and this is where it's always going to be. We need to deal with the physical, though. What do we need to know? Woo! The Emperor and the Sun. What we must understand is that our divine masculine not being present or fully present, because some of us are in their phases of reunion, some of us are in the last phases of separation. The way that our person is unable to be present is a serious issue. And the way that we expect them to find the solutions, knowing that in our heart of hearts, that might not be the reasonable or feasible ask, right? That scares us too. That's very scary. When you put this energy together, you end up with what I see as desperate to change. Not calling you desperate. Listen to what I'm saying. Desperate to change, desperate to heal, desperate to feel authentic, like in your realest, deepest self. But for some reason, there is a barrier that is blocking our ability to embrace that. We see the days ahead as being without solution, with that just full of chaos and always feeling like we're going to have to be the strong one. We're going to have to figure everything out. We're going to have to be the one that orchestrates this and that. That is not true. And if you've been doing it your whole life and you still haven't changed it, you've got to ask yourself the same. I got to ask myself, well, why? If it's always been like that and you're aware of it and you don't like it, well, why isn't it different? And a lot of us miss the part of our own answer where we reflect and say someone else. Because if I don't, then everything will fall apart or da-da-da. And it's like, well, then let it. Oh, I can't do that. Well, then don't complain anymore. Fix what you got then. If you can't let it fall apart and you have to do the thing you just have to. You feel compelled, you feel compulsion. And you actually believe that's the life that that divine designed for you. I think you need to go back to the drawing board on everything. A lot of us are caught up in loops. A lot of us are caught up in problem loops, problem flows. There is no solution. There is no flow to truth. It's always just bad, 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 bad. Wow. I hear you're halfway there, which says it's not the problem that you're thinking like this. The problem is you keep stopping at the problem. You keep stopping at a point of a lie. Who lied to you and told you that that was the end of this? Who lied to you and told you it just is what it is? It's a lie. The Fool shows up. All major arcana so far in the physical world. Don't be surprised by that. We are in an incredible season. I'm not gonna front, I've been a little bit anxious about this season. Because in the earlier part of the year, we had a few months of just kind of like, meh. And then we had the huge eclipse and we had this huge portal, but there was still a little bit of time afterwards where we could just breathe. But we're going from a giant portal through eclipse season into another portal. And it's basically for just like 5 months straight. It is just, oh my gosh. Oh. The truth is, divine is going to keep knocking. Just like the Ace of Cups. Like, hey, you want that? Here, can you? No, just take it. You try to hand you a baby and you wouldn't take the baby. You're like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? Divine's trying to hand you a baby right now. You won't take it. Divine's going to keep handing you that baby, right? You know, eventually people take the hint, right? Okay, I'm going to stop giving that person the baby because they don't like babies. They don't know what to do. They're holding the baby like, you know, okay, I'm not going to give that person the baby. No, Divine's not a I'll take the hint kind of person. You don't get to tell Divine, hint, hint, I'm not interested in that mission. Hint, hint, I'm not interested. Please. Go ahead and try. Just like we watch our Divine Masculine sometimes have to get a little pop pop from Divine. Like, if you don't get up and go do your damn work like I told you, okay, I'm sorry. We think that doesn't happen to us, and then when it does, we get attitude. But we laugh and poke and hee or when it's our DM. Baby, what y'all think that we're special? We're special, but we're not special to that end. You're going to do your job. You're going to do your work. You're going to do your healing. You're going to deal with your shit. You're going to own your shit. You know what I'm saying? There's none of that. Come on, one more. Oh, and the King of Wands. The question is, where have you been focusing your energy? Most of the time, when I actually can get someone to acknowledge that they have been doing too much with, like, watching spiritual stuff, but not doing spiritual stuff, because it's not always just tarot. It's not always just astrology. There's all kinds of ways that you can kind of let something consume you, you know? Normally, I don't think I've ever spoken to a single person that said to me, yeah, I know I know it's a good thing for me. People will kind of in the beginning, oh, you know, yeah, I'm learning, or I'm in school or something, you know, but when we actually talk about it, they're like, no, I know it makes me sick. I know it makes me tired. I know it messes with my mental health. I know all these things. So that off the bat for some people is just the obvious, like, you've got to deal with using this stuff to get that connection to DM, because that's really what that is. A lot of people don't know what a parasocial relationship is, but a lot of people also think that that's only possible through like a YouTube person or like your favorite friend on TV. Like, I really love Troy and Abed. They're my best friends. If you don't know who they are, they're not your friends. They're my friends though. But it's like, I don't actually know Troy and Abed. And I need you to think about that. Every time you do this, even for a Divine Feminine reading, because of the nature of our journey, it is going to make you think about your person. That's why every single sign in sync that the average Divine Feminine gets, they think it's about their person. So if you know that has happened to you on your journey and Divine is saying, where's your focus? That's going to be an easy pick for you, right? But some of you are going to be like, Grace, I've pulled back on tarot. The only reason I'm really here is because it's eclipse season right now. I wanted to kind of check in and see what you had to say. Grace, you know, I really have been focusing on my work and da-da-da, but there's just this emptiness. I don't know why I feel this way. It's either going to be, what have you been focusing on and pouring all your energy into, or what have you refused to focus on? That's almost, I would say more than 90% of the issue. A lot of people don't need to waste the time to get on the call with me because you already know. But some people, they need that. They need permission, not like permission from me, but they need to know that they have divine permission. A lot of people need confirmation. They need to know that what they've been thinking and feeling is right so they can finally go forward. A lot of people need that affirmation where they hear someone say, this is the proper path. If that is any of you, then let's have a call. But if deep down you know the answer, and that's why you really don't like when I or any other reader does like a DF reading, it's because you know there's something you're supposed to be focusing on. I'm not mad at you if you don't do it. I don't even think Divine is mad at you. I think you're mad at you. I think you're disappointed in yourself. And I know that that's something that's really hard to like face head on. But that's life, babe. And I want you to think about that. That it's just life. There's nothing wrong with you. You haven't made any mistakes here. Not really. That's not how it really works. You can't mess this up, but you can't ignore the truth. You can't ignore what Divine's been trying to say to you for years. Some of you're still getting the same message you got before you found out you were a twin. Before I found out I was a twin, I was supposed to do something that I've been ignoring. So, and as a matter of fact, when I got with my person, which is something I think we all need to look at, I let them, he didn't do nothing. I let him distract me from what I was supposed to be doing because I was scared of it. A lot of us need to think back to the 3 months before we met our person. What was you doing? Well, because almost everybody I've spoken to, I don't think I've met a person yet that said nothing, but almost everybody I've spoken to has said, actually, I was about to start a major thing, a project, a new this, a new that, whatever. And it all either fell apart or I gave up or whatever. Divine's going to keep handing you this baby. And you can, oh gosh, has somebody changed its diaper? Yeah, it's been waiting for you to change its diaper. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, shoot. Once you think about the sun card, like the Fool, it usually has a rod, a wand. They're trying to get us to focus. They're trying to get us to clear the path. What do we need to know in the physical? Whoa. Aww. This is really beautiful because we've got the Ace of Cups, somebody kind of diving deep to go get it. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is a card that is about manifestation, about creation, about the vision. And then we have the Page of Cups with the fish in the cup. Like we went down, got the fish, got out, and now we've received this message, this download about something related to this. And I think this is kind of the problem, but also the solution. What do I mean by that? But the cause and cure is you. I get so weak in the knees. You feel me? Okay, I need you to think about this. One of the main questions that I get from divine feminines who are at their wits' end is, why does it have to be like this? It has to be like this for a divine purpose, even if it doesn't feel like it, or if you just want to throw that out and say, no, 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 no. I don't believe that. It doesn't matter what you believe if it's real, if it's true. So if divine said, I need you to meet, I need you to come together, I need you to be so off for some of you that you interpret every message as being about love, there's a reason for all that. And now you've reached a point where there is a reason that divine is encouraging you to go deep, to think about why you're doing all this, to think about why you stick around, to think about why you put up with this, to think about why this is the person that you want to spend your life with, and then decide to create every possible thing you can other than the person, because you can't make a person unless you're talking about making a baby. And even then, you can't do it by yourself. There's a very rare type of individual that can, because they have the physical components for it. But otherwise, that's just an unlikely, most likely impossibility. Okay. So if you know that you cannot do this by yourself, you also know divine keeps trying to hand you a baby. You also know that divine is trying to get you the information to tell you what direction to go in. You also know that you have a little bit of trouble navigating your journey without thinking about your divine masculine. Well, then embrace that shit. Because I don't know about you, but on the days where I'm feeling really, really good, I can use my love motivation to make me build anything. And on the days where I'm feeling really, really bad, I can use that almost shadow self to help me deal with the stuff that my light self shouldn't even be touching. I have found a way to navigate that. And people will always, like, people insult me a little bit. Oh, well, you're in reunion. Well, that's because you've made everything about reunion. Do you really think that me having my partner in my life makes my life easy? No. And guess what? Not calling you out, me, y'all know me. I was boy crazy from the moment that I was like 3 or 4 years old. I was boy crazy into my 30s, into my relationship with my partner. But something has happened to me in my healing where I understand now the only reason my relationship the first few years wasn't as good as it could have been was because I was boy crazy and I was solutions driven. I needed something to be solved, and I put all that on Mr. Lightwork. Once I let that feeling go, I was able to look at my life and say, the reason I'm not happy is because of me. I'm not happy for my stuff, so let me fix that. That's the real truth. I'm not happy because I'm in reunion. I've told you before, if you guys get with the divine masculine before they reach their emperor nature, you get to freaking be somebody's mom or somebody's therapist or somebody's helper, not helper, caregiver. It's not fun, guys. I've tried to tell you before. Many of you have watched Mr. Lightwork's growth over the years, but that doesn't mean that It's just I wake up every day like, oh, yay. And it's very insulting to have people say that I'm not allowed to feel the truth of my divine feminine journey because reunion is it. It's wrong. It's just wrong. And I leave out the insulting part most of the time, but I do try to say, hey, wait a minute now. I'm still a light worker. I still have a mission. Look where I get to be. I get to be in the twin flame realm where most people, when they're happy, they dip. They go be and live their happy life. They don't stay in this YouTube twin flame space. They dip, they leave. I have to stay here in the trenches every day. And I've been here every day for over 6 years. Don't look at reunion and think it's what you think it is, because, honey, some of you are going to be very sadly mistaken when you get into union and the person is not where you think they're going to be. That's why I'm always trying to remind you that you don't know where your DM is going to be, and that's okay. If you can build the life that you want, if you can build the life that you've been imagining, if you can set your kingdom up, that's my high level divine feminines. That's what they do. They listen to divine, and sure, they're looking for the signs and syncs that go with their person. Duh, they care. They want that person, but they're interpreting every single sign and sync as, here I am, Hineni Adonai. How may I be of service? How can I help you, divine? What is it that you need from me today? What, you want me to focus on building this or doing that or setting this up for some long-term goal? Okay. Any news on my DM? Nope, still the same? Great. I will continue to do this. My high level divine feminines, the only reason they stick around here is to support me in this channel and to support me by being of service to you as well, so that I don't have to be the only one answering questions, so that I don't have to be the only one saying, this is how it goes, this is true. My high level divine feminines, those are my homies. And what I'm trying to say to all y'all is, when I made this channel, I had no intention of separating anybody. I want you to be the homie. I want to be your coworker. I want to work in the light work together. And I want us to all go to each other's weddings and shit and be in reunion together. What I'm asking you is, are you happy right now? Not because you're not in union. If you were and your life was exactly the same and your person was acting up today, you sure you'd be happy? You positive? You sure? Sit with it. Let's get a quick spread. If you're still here, this message is obviously for you, because why else would you sit? You know I don't do DF readings like that, especially like not publicly, right? I do DF readings for people all the time, but that's behind closed doors, not a general reading. To come out and speak to the entirety of my collective, knowing it's going to upset people, knowing people are going to click off, unsubscribe, I'm doing this reading knowing it's going to be a challenge. So if you're still here, this is yours. What do you want to know? What, as I'm setting this spread up, what do you really, really want to know? Nope. Whoa, okay. Oh my gosh, that one came out by itself. These are all flipped, okay. Hanged Man. I'm gonna put Wheel of Fortune away, because I don't even know. That's all I need, right? Is one card? All right, I'm gonna do a quick 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now you. Alrighty. That was not the whole goal though, Grace. Don't forget your spread. All right, do you have an idea of what it is that you want to know today? Now that you've done that, this is not a pick a card reading, all right? I really don't do pick a cards. It's just not my thing. And a lot of my DFs, very few of my DFs really resonate with them. They usually end up like looking at all the cards, right? So I just don't do them. However, I do like to do this occasionally. Pick a card. Don't worry about, just pick one card. Don't worry about nothing else. Just pick which one. You got it? You can think about A, B, C, D, E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. You got your card? All right, good. Just keep that in the back of your mind. You're not waiting for that card to come up like that's the only one. I'm going to do a reading now. But when that comes up, that's your new focus. Either something you've been ignoring or something that you need to focus on. All right? Listen to the question that I ask, like whatever the position of the spread is, and the card itself, and maybe spend some time with that card afterwards if you really resonate with that. All right? All right, let's see. Let's clear out a few more divine feminines who don't really want to be here. If there was one thing divine feminine absolutely is picking up royally right now, me included, why don't y'all ever get that? All right, anyways. What's the problem? We gonna clear this out the way first and foremost so that we can get to the nitty-gritty. What is wrong? What are we doing wrong right now? What are we missing? What are we ignoring? What are we being stubborn about? The Page of Wands. We don't believe that there's a new thing. We don't believe there's a new opportunity. We are lying, and maybe not lying to ourselves, but maybe we're lying to other people. Oh yeah, I know everything works out for me, da 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 da, but then turn around and we're crying and why is everything so bad? We're in denial. We're not dealing with our shit. We gotta deal with it. Straight up. Let's read the reversal of this. Where's my book? Book. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, I opened to the Lovers. All right, Page of Wands. In reverse. What's the Page of Wands? Pessimism, pessimism, unfocused, arrogance, and lazy. And honestly, this is the divine feminine who, at their worst, makes me think, how could you even be a DF? But I do understand that there are some people who, like readers and stuff like that, who maybe they were hurt. Maybe they're bad people. Maybe they're just total POSs, right? But maybe they actually just got hurt and they have a reason to feel these ways, right? And then they start a reading or a channel. They start reading for people in that negative energy, and then other people discover them. Might be the first reader you ever found when you were on your twin flame journey, and you think that's the appropriate way to talk about this stuff. Arrogant, the arrogance always gets me in the spiritual community. Never quite understood it. So interesting that the one thing we're doing wrong is not only a sync from what divine is doing in our life, but also a sync for the entire message so far. What does this say? You have an idea and want to take action, but you're unsure where to start. You need to assess the details and break them down one by one to take smaller actions to support the bigger picture. You are ready to step into the unknown courageously in order to make your dreams come true. I'm going to read you what you're doing wrong. You either have no idea, which is that's just the sentence. You have no idea, but you act like you do. But let's read it, right? You have an idea, but don't necessarily care too much about taking action, especially because you're not sure where to start. So you refuse to assess the details. You don't want to make a plan. You don't want to look at the big picture and break it down and actually make it happen, because it's probably not what you want it to be. It's probably not worth the effort to you. You want something specific out of it. And because of that, you're not ready to step into the unknown. You don't have any courage about what comes next. You don't even know if your dreams are possible. Now, that is not what this says, but that is what we're doing. If that don't resonate with you in some way, again, I recommend that if you're not in a place to receive these kind of messages, don't listen to them. Not just because it's like, if you don't want to listen to what I'm going to say, that's not it. It's because I want you to be able to receive the stuff, if it's yours, in the right energy, in the right timing. So if you're like, I'm not doing this, then don't. That's fine. Don't worry, Divine gonna keep handing you that baby. Probably, ironically, this is gonna be one of those readings that I think no one's gonna watch, and then it just keeps getting shoved in people's faces, because if Divine wants your attention, Divine gonna get it. All right, so we got it. We get it. We're not focused on the right things, or we're unfocused. We're ignoring things Divine has told us to do. We're not taking action where we should. All right, we get it. Fine. Now, what can we trust? What is the good that is going to come from all of this? Not this part of the things we're doing wrong, but just the season that we're in, the bad stuff we've been dealing with that might have been discouraging us. Like, what is the good that's going to come from all this as a part of that unknown? Now, when I said Divine gonna keep handing you that baby, and we're talking about the Page of Wands, and I mentioned how the wands is like in all, all the cards that we're not necessarily supposed to think of as wands. Like the Fool is not a wand, but yet, and the Sun is not a wand, and yet, right, there's a wand. So I just have a feeling here that the new beginning will happen either way. All of this has been leading to a fresh start. And I've actually been trying to tell you that, like, even astrologically, that is supported. But because I'm not good at articulating something that I'm not a specialist at, I don't know how to tell you to go look it up. I've even tried to show you the images, remember, of like showing you like cycles on cycles, and how if this is the 0 point, maybe there's a 1 year cycle that's happening, but there's also been like a 10 year cycle that's happening, and there's like been like a 50 year cycle that's happening, and they're all coming to an end, boom, right here. It's something, I think it's like Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus are all between 22 and 26, are all having these like fresh starts, and even like lifetime stuff, like things that won't happen again in our lifetime. There's all kinds of stuff that's starting and closing, and 2024 has been like one of the main central years for it. So I don't know how else to explain this to you. The readings try to tell you, but you're only looking for one specific new beginning. So that, I think, it makes it easy to think these readings are full. Just, well, why am I even watching this stuff? It's not. It's just like because you're looking for reunion, or you're looking for DM, but dang, bruh, you really think that's all you're worth is a relationship? You really think that's all you're worth is like somebody? You don't think y'all ever gonna argue? You don't think you're ever gonna fight? You think that's what you're worth is just a person? You're so much bigger than that. There's so much more to you than that. I know they're gonna make you happy. I know that in the long run it's gonna be beautiful, but also the other things about your life will be too. Divine is going to give you this new beginning, even if you don't deserve it, even if you haven't asked for it, even it doesn't matter. Take the baby. Mm, okay. All of this stuff we've been through has brought us to this point. What do we need to understand that we're missing about this Fool, this new beginning, this thing Divine wants to hand us? Like, what don't we get about it? Queen of Wands. What we don't get is that it's everything we've wanted and more. What we don't get, think about the sun card and the sunflower, and the fact that the sun card had like a woman on it with, she was like holding the sun, almost kind of like she was trying to angle a spotlight, like to put the sun where she needed to be. I think this says we don't understand our power. We don't understand how happy we could be. Oh, that just hit me. I feel like Divine just walked up and eat the cake to me. Oh my gosh, right now. We do not realize this was supposed to be a season of joy. It makes me think about the virgins they talk about in the Bible. Oh, the virgins were not ready. Some had their oil in their lamps and some didn't. And they were waiting, where's the groom? And the groom finally shows up. And the ones who weren't prepared said, hey, give me some of your oil. And the ones that were prepared were like, bitch, please get your own oil. And the ones who needed to go get their own oil, they went, but the grooms left without them. Some story, right? But guess what? I think that's the case here. I think that there are divine feminines out there who, by being overly focused on reunion, actually miss it. Because the thing is, it didn't say that the ones who didn't fill their lamps just couldn't. Because how come when they realized that it was approaching, they could go and run and get the lamps filled up, right? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it says they go and they try to get their lamps filled. But that means they knew where the lamp filler was. They had the money for it, but they were so focused on the bridegroom showing up that they weren't actually ready for the wedding. I talk to divine feminines all over the world, and that is usually what's going on when we are struggling to just be happy. What we don't understand is that divine has set protection over us, and we are basically like thwarting that. Like, we're basically ignoring it. We're basically going out and tearing holes in our own protection by allowing this darkness to just rest on us like that. Okay. How do we fix this? Like what are we supposed to do? If we're supposed to take action, what are we supposed to do? Ooh, hold on. I want to read this. It's the moon. Ooh, it opened to the Wheel of Fortune. It's the moon, and the moon says, Shelly, I love you, dear. The moon can reveal uncomfortable things about ourselves and create an unclear path as she waxes and wanes. But her light is a reminder that we ultimately hold power over how we will navigate those murky waters if we stay true to our target. Just told us about our power, just told us about our joy, and now, boom. Things may feel like an illusion, so use this card to open up and trust the primal nature of the self. Answer the call to turn inwards and investigate what might be lurking in the shadows. Let your inner illumination track down the unseen and start to shine a light to liberate it from the depths. Now, if you remember, if I'm not mistaken, this is the same chick who was on the sun card who was, what did I just say? Moving it like a spotlight to shine it on something specific. If you want to run from the truth of this reading, you can. If you want to act like I'm just mean or crazy or blah, 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 fine. But guess what? You cannot ignore the signs and syncs flowing in this reading between these cards. And guess what? You can run, you can hide, you can try. But guess what Divine gonna do when you turn around? Here's a baby. Take this baby. I'm just telling y'all, y'all can get mad at me. You can shoot the messenger. Y'all been doing it for 6 years. Shout out to those of you who don't. But a lot of you do not want to hear from people like me. But you need to hear from people like me. Because I'm the one that got the message for you. Boy. This card is trying to show you that the path out of the darkness is in you. Meaning that you are either dwelling in darkness or you are eating it, drinking it, swallowing it, whatever you're doing. You got to ask yourself, get mad at me if you want to. I'll show Grace that that's not true. Do it. What is that going to do to me, really? I need you to think about how this journey would affect someone, not you. How does this journey tend to affect people? What does this journey tend to do? Why does everyone call it toxic, struggle love, negative? Because most people approach this journey the wrong way, and a lot of the guides and gurus and readers and leaders and blah, blah, blah encourage it. You do not need tarot to be a twin. You don't even need to know you're a twin to be a twin. The only thing you need to do is follow your intuition and be a good person, a servant leader. That's it. All the extra stuff that everybody's trying to get you to tack on, that's because they got something to sell you for it. Well, Grace, you sell stuff. I mean, yeah, I should be able to make a living, but I don't charge you $10,000 for a course that's not going to do shit, do I? I don't charge you $200 for a 15-minute call, do I? I have everything wide open. I encourage you to stop watching tarot. I want you to be real about what's good for you. And if it happens to include me, there's a reason why I don't like doing this. It's because I can't be friends and connect with people that are on a twin flame journey until they're in reunion, essentially. And again, usually by then they don't want me. I was just a cool separation friend. I'm not people can't look at it because where am I? I'm in the separation energy. Do you know how hard it is to do what I do and know that I can't just hit up someone I haven't heard from in a couple of years because I don't know if I'm going to bring them back to something negative? Come on. See this for what it is. See this space as it's a hospital, not a school. But in a hospital, you can learn how to prevent the next thing or the thing that brought you here from happening again, can't you? It's in a hospital where we can say, let's go deep. Let's go all the way in there. Let's put a camera in you. I know we're scared. I know we don't want that. But that's where we are. And divine wants so badly for you to see this, because this is one of those things, and it's going to piss some people off, but if there's anyone who can raise a hand, affirm, confirm, please. This is one of those things that can change overnight. Do you understand that? This is not something that has to be, okay, maybe in 10 years you'll feel better. You can change overnight. It happened to me. And I spent decades trying to figure this out. I studied psychology. I studied families. I studied sociology. I studied philosophy. I looked everywhere. And then I went inside and I realized I had internalized other people's worlds and I couldn't breathe. This twin flame journey can make things very, very unhealthy for us. How are you going to get healthy again? Let's see. We talk about the person who has the bandage on the head. He's healing. He has a wand in his hand. He's blocking out everything behind him that cannot come in to his kingdom anymore. This is how we get better. We acknowledge that the war is over. Oh, but I'm still in separation. Why is your separation a war? Oh, but Grace, it's still dark. Why? Who taught you that? Who told you that? It surely wasn't me. And you don't want to listen to me when I tell you the opposite for 6 years straight. You got to figure that out. I know what that feels like. Y'all don't be getting it, but I know what it feels like to sit with that and wonder, why am I like this? Why do I feel this way? I don't want to feel this way. I don't like this. I don't enjoy this. Why is it still happening? I've been there. I've sat there for years and no one could help me. That's why I started this channel. Okay, final messages. What does divine say to you right now in the state that you're in? This is an illusion of being trapped. Just like that ego card showed up and said, you're not really stuck. You won't take action and you've lost your confidence. But you can get those things back. You can take action. You can free yourself. You can do all this. This isn't calling you out and saying, what's wrong with you? This is saying, look, it's not real. Look at it. Look at it. It's not real. Why is this so important? Why is divine sending this message through somebody that don't really want to? I don't like talking to divine feminines in a general. I prefer to talk one-on-one with divine feminines because I do feel like it's very easy to take everything I'm saying and twist it into something I'm not saying, which if you've been in the collective support group, you know, like, because of the mental health issues that I have, that is devastating for me. Like, oh, it breaks my whole heart when someone thinks I said something that I didn't, or especially if it's something that I've like preached for a really long time on my channel, and then they say I said something opposite, and I'm like, but do you even listen to my it's from my past. One of my favorite songs, Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. Remember that? Okay, so why? Why right now, as you're getting this message, as you're sitting here listening to something that's probably a little harsh, a little hard, like, why now? Why is divine sending it through me of all people? Because your sadness is keeping you focused on spilled milk. Your pain is keeping you focused on what went wrong. Your anger is keeping you focused on vengeance instead of love. If that's not the feeling you have, tell me, what is it? In fact, if you are willing, whether you're feeling this or whether you are just here to be supportive, what is the feeling that you're feeling, or that you often feel when you're in a bad spot? That's kind of the consistent thing. And what is it really saying? Because what this tells me together is this is what must be released. We must release the thing that has kind of kept us from being able to change and kind of kept us in a very karmic state in our journey. What is your spirit saying? Your inner self. Y'all, I shuffled. I shuffled again. Remember, I picked it up and I said, I'm going to do 3 quick shuffles, and it brought back the Wheel of Fortune again. Your inner self is saying, okay, seriously, I need you to get on the ball because we are too powerful for you to not open your mouth. We are too powerful for you to not put your hand to that. We're too powerful for you to not grab the baby. Can you please, like, are you okay? Your inner self is like, are you okay? And your physical self is saying, no, I'm not okay. You should know that. And your inner self is saying, but why? And you're saying, oh, I don't know. I guess I should be okay, huh? Because I get to know who my person is. Yeah, we're not together right now, but unlike the rest of the world, I actually know I have the love of my life and I get to be with them. What is wrong with me? Why am I crying? What's happened in the last few days, weeks, or months even with my person that could be something new? If it's nothing, then that means I'm still crying over the thing from last year or the year before, or 10 years ago for some people. What is wrong with me? Why am I like this right now? Where is my confidence? Why won't I take action? Wait a minute. I'm powerful. I'm a creator. I'm a walking, talking master manifester. What is happening to me? The reason I get so fired up about that is because I spent a lifetime asking that question. And when I found out that there was a dark force that wanted me to sit in that shit for the rest of my life, I got fucking furious about it. And you should be too. Stop being mad at me. Again, you can shoot the messenger all you want. I'm protected. You can't send shit to my house, so I'm straight. But I'm saying, what's wrong with you? Truly. Because if you realize that someone has been fucking with you this entire, you're telling me that I could have been in happy, blissful love this whole time, that my journey didn't have to be shitty, that I didn't have to spend 17 years doing shadow work. You're telling me that how dare this motherfucker lie to me? If you don't get mad like that, you're not where you think you are. I understand spirituality. I understand I'm speaking to a group of people who's been told that if it's not calm and quiet, well, guess what? I've seen some calm, quiet samurai types chop a head off quietly. You could be quiet too. You don't have to be rambunctious like me. That's my personality. You might be a chill, shy person. That's cool too. You should be seething with rage, quiet internal rage, where your eyes start to tear up, not because you're going to cry because you are so infuriated that someone would think that they could ruin your life, your journey, your reunion by keeping you stuck in a lie that when you actually analyze it and assess it, it doesn't even make sense. Oh, fuck that. If you don't get like that, then of course you don't understand me. Of course you don't understand my channel. There are not only spiritual guides and gurus that whisper in. There are spiritual guides and gurus that are fucking warriors, and y'all don't seem to remember I am fiery grace. When you come here, if you don't get fire, just know I'm holding back to appease those who otherwise wouldn't get the message. And if you want to say, Grace, fuck them, no, because I didn't come here for you. You're fine. You'll get the message through the message. I'm coming for the people who are sick. Why would I go to the hospital and ask, who's well here? I'd like to speak to you. Who fucking cares? Who's well here? Now come over here and help me do this surgery. That's what I should be saying. That's how you should see it too. If you don't, I don't believe that you are on the spiritual level you think you are. And that's not an insult. That's not a dig. That is a awareness. Now you know how to get to where you need to go next. Get mad. Get something other than miserable or negative or sad or lonely or whatever the fuck you're going through right now. Because I've been there. I felt that. And I'm telling you, the only thing that works is sitting in your authenticity. And if you say to me right now, well, I'm not a sad person. That's not who I am. Now, if you're an Eeyore, and this journey is making you sad, but kind of like you're used to it, well, that's different, Eeyore. I'm not talking to you. Do you, boo? You might be an INFJ or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm not. But if you are not, and you're pissed off all the time and fired up and all that, but you're directing it at your DM or me or even yourself, they got you right where they want you. Traumatized. Sitting on your sword of truth in your church, which is whatever your belief system is. You're in the sanctuary and they've got you with 3 swords over your head. If you move a muscle, you're booby trapped. Fuck that. Be done with it. Come to balance. Stop letting outside things do this to you. Ooh, Grace, you even gonna post this? I don't know. Oh, did I not shuffle these? I shuffled to get 5 cards out. How did this come back? What? What's the page? Did we read? We read it, right? Oh my gosh, I think it opened almost directly to it. The page is a soul explorer. Soul, S-O-U-L. The page is a soul explorer who wants to journey through the soul's inner depths. Y'all, this is insane. Remember the first part of the reading? The first card was the going to the depths in the Ace of Cups in the Angel deck, and now it's saying this. The page is a soul explorer who wants to journey through the soul's inner depths. There is a playful air to this sweet energy, and it tells you to embrace this energy. I'm sorry. There is a playful air to this sweet energy, and it tells you to embrace this journey with love and joie de vivre. Are you feeling adventurous? Do you wish to explore new territories? When this page makes an appearance, get ready to have fun and awaken your playful side. Upright is portal, curiosity, inner child, idealistic, emotional maturity, imagination, and insight. But the negative is immaturity, insecurity, apathy, and impulsiveness. And these right here, if you watch that, what is that called? The Escaping Twin Flames. You know what I'm talking about? Don't blame twin flames for being a fucked up person. You feel me? Don't blame twin flames for not dealing with your inner stuff. Don't blame twin flames. Stop it. Stop blaming your DM. Stop blaming. I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to everybody. No one should blame a concept. No one should. It's what the people do with it. And just like that sad reader that got broken up with and is in separation, and I wasn't even with my DM. I was in separation when I created my damn channel. And I did not create a channel talking about Mr. Lightwork. Let's dig in. Let's be up in his business. I made a channel being my nature, my positive self. There are people who create things in this space, not just in Twin Flames, but all over. There are people who create things in the church. There are people who create things in business. Every place has the propensity to become a hospital. And every hospital has the chance to become money hungry. Think about what I'm saying. There are good doctors and bad doctors, good cops and bad cops. There are good people, there are bad people. Good people are not going to sit comfortably in this energy. And I believe the good yous, those of you listening to this who've been uncomfortable and frustrated and confused and all that, it's because you don't like how you feel. Like I said in the beginning of the reading, you like, this isn't even me. So, Soul Explorer, what do you need to think about? What have you not considered in your physical world? To be a soul explorer, but in the physical world, what do you need to know? 10 of Pentacles, oh my gosh. I think this says to you, what is your soul's abundance? What is in my religious background, I would say, what is in my spiritual bank account? If I were to reach out, which I actually do this, you would have never seen me do this, but some of you, I might have done it once or twice for me. But I have this, I just reach out into the air, almost like if someone's handing me all the aces where it's like a hand is just handing you something, except instead of the hand like reaching out through the ether to hand me something, I reach my hand through the ether to grab something from my spiritual bank account, and then I pull it out and I put it into my soul. I put it into myself. I've been doing it since I was probably in my teens. I'm telling you that because I believe that many of you out there don't know your soul's abundance. Many of you out there don't know why divine would ever give you anything in the first place. It's funny that the 10 of Pentacles shows up where the Wheel of Fortune came, and I'm talking about grabbing from the soul and pulling it. We're talking about the cup being in the air from the Ace of Cups. There is something deeper that is going to be unlocked in those of you who listen to this message the whole way through. I can tell because there's so much I'm saying that I'm not saying, and I know you hear me. I know you hear it. I know it's hitting you. Again, someone was crying earlier. I feel like someone about to holler. I'm telling you, this is a season of your life that you will not forget. And for some of you, it will be the worst season of your life because you chose to sit in the misery and tell yourself lies because that's what someone wanted you to think. And some of you are going to look back and remember this was the season I changed my life. This was the season I saw divine for what divine was in my life. This was the season that I stopped letting with me the way that I did because I wasn't just trying to, oh, I don't care or whatever. It was the year that I said I demand divine respect. I'm not talking about from divine. I'm talking about from everything else. I have dominion. I am the ruler. I am the empress. That's how you should be walking, talking, acting. And if you're not, you're going to be sad. Final message from divine. The fool, the dreamer. It's unexpected. Be ready for your opportunities. From your inner self. Ooh, you have no idea how good you are. That's why they're coming to him with the blueprint of what he built, saying, "How could you do this? We're old heads. We've been in here for 20 years. You just got here. You're an apprentice. How the did you make this? You have no idea." The thing that you're creating right now, when you bring it to existence, people are going to be like, how did you do this? And finally, from your physical self, stop pretending. Stop pretending. Acknowledge your pain. Acknowledge your truth. Pick a sword and go forth and conquer. If you're interested in working with me, which if you're still interested in working with me after this, no, I'm just kidding. It's funny. I find myself kind of like downing myself because I know there's a lot of people in the spiritual community who think that all spiritual people should just manifest money from their butthole. And so it's like, oh, you're not spiritual because you're okay, whatever. And then I also like kind of down myself because so many people say like nasty things about me and my personality being on this channel and kind of going against the status quo of spiritual things or not spiritual things, but like a spiritualist approach, like what you, because I'm not a reader. I'm a freaking Christian, a Messianic Christian girl. Like, what are y'all don't even know. But again, I'm here to serve. I'm here to help you. And so like I downplay my stuff, but damn it, I can help you do this, and y'all know it. If you've worked with me before, again, give me a hand raise. Mention what somebody offered a review for me the other day. Baby, leave that review in these comments. Because honestly, it baffles me that people would rather spend money on, I'll burn these candles than to talk to somebody who has the ability to help them do probably 90% of the things that they want to do, even just getting them started, even just getting them focused. So if you want to work with me, I'm not going to down myself right now. I can tell you right now that this is the reason the divine sent this reading through me is because divine knew I can also help you with it. I can help you with it through the stories in the reading, but we can go beyond that if you need me. I highly recommend that you check out my website. I have great prices available. I keep my prices low because I know that I'm not going to be here much longer. And I know that there are going to be a lot of people who need to talk to me. And I know that it's been crazy the last couple of years. They're saying we're not in a recession, but baby, I've been studying economics. I know what's going on. I'm telling you right now, if you want to work with me, there's a way we can work together. But if you don't need to because everything on my channel is free. I have readings available for people who are members, but those readings were at one point public and now they are private and for members only because those are readings that I think people who are really more committed to the journey need to see, and it shouldn't just be popping up on your thing. By the way, if you're a member, thank you for your support and your sponsorship. Members there's like almost 2,000 readings that I've privatized or made members only. So otherwise though, I don't want anyone to ever feel like they owe me anything. This is my divine work. And once I can't, continue to do this, I'm going to go do my next mission, and it's okay. But if you're hearing me now and this might be the one chance you have to talk to someone who gets the journey, who sees it in a way it doesn't have to be negative, who actually gives a fuck and isn't going to lie to you. Like, I'm going to tell you straight up, like, it's tough. I don't like to have to be the one to do it. Again, it's why people look at me kind of weird in this space, but damn, man, people lie so much now. People tell you whatever. People talk about twin flames out their butt like they know what they're talking about. I have no idea. There's no rhyme or reason for it. People read one book and be like, this is the book that's all. And I look at the book and I'm like, so you're telling me that every twin flame should read this book and resonate? It's only going to resonate with you because that was for you. That's not the book. People have a lot of weird views about this stuff. And guess what? I respect all of it to the extent of, if you believe, we're going to go with that for our conversation. If you're not Christian and you have, or if you're poly, I don't believe that twin flames are meant to be poly. But really, I also know, I don't know if that's true or not. However, I do have this belief that twin flames are supposed to have the same desire. As long as you both want to be poly, then what's the problem, right? And if you don't, then let's talk through it. And I'm going to give you all the best I've got in that moment. I don't want anybody to think that the stern kind of direct way that I have to talk here is the same as I talk one-on-one, because I'm talking to my phone right now. I'm talking to 50,000 people, but also nobody. I'm hearing all the things and the rebuttals, and I'm also hearing the sadness and the pain. It's a lot, okay? If you need me and you think that there's even a remote chance that I could help you, I think that it's time for us to talk. I love you guys. I want to be there for you as much as I possibly can be. As always, by the way, I haven't said this in a while, but you can always sponsor a reading for someone. You can always purchase an exclusives for someone. You can buy the New Wave Prophecy for people. If you are interested in helping the collective, people do it all the time, but not all the time at the same time, because it's not something that I really talk about. But I just want to make sure that this community knows what we're here to do. This is who we are. I haven't shown this in a long time. This is what I do. If you're new here, make sure that you're checking our community tab. Make sure that you've liked, shared, subscribed, comment, all the normal YouTube stuff. But also make sure you know that if you leave your comment signature at the end of readings and on different community tab posts, that your comment signature can win you a free reading. Every single month I give away a free reading. I've been doing it since I started this. I used to do it not for the comment signature, but for anybody who gave out a homeless bag. But then I noticed people were totally scamming and being like, oh, here's my groceries. I gave these to a homeless person. And it was like that. I've been doing this for 15, 20 years actually. I know that's not a homeless bag. And so I had to stop, right? But I'm telling you, there's things that we do together. There are, for members, there's all kinds of old videos. For people who, if you want to see my face, members, I have videos where I used to drive in the car. You know, people who do the car driving where it's like the cameras in front of them in the dash. I would do car driving videos and I would talk about my journey. People are like, I want to hear your journey with Mr. Lightwork. We did that already. We did that numerous times. We've got probably like 100 videos with me and Mr. Lightwork. We've done seminars with twins. We've done all kinds of stuff. Check this stuff out. Get into the vibration of reunion. So yeah, members only content and exclusive readings are like my kind of like my bonus readings, but they're more like bonus personals, if that makes any sense. They're not, I'm never going to cut a reading halfway through. I think I did it one time because there was one thing where I was like, I have to go deeper, but I can't share this with everybody. But otherwise, I don't cut my readings off halfway. However, I do offer exclusives. I have so many love letters that people have never seen. Reunion Journey Toolkit, this big old orange thing here. This is extremely important. Many people are wondering, Grace, how do I figure out where I am on the reunion spectrum? How do I know, am I in reunion or if I'm close, or how do I know what each of these different phases is? You just have to get the Reunion Journey Toolkit. That's it. If you want to know how far along you are in the journey, phone calls and phone readings plus a spread. You can do a call with me where there's no tarot. You can also do phone readings where we do a reading over the phone. If you're interested in getting a picture of your spread, there's a spread upgrade you can do. And I also do live readings where it's like this, except we're on the phone. So we're talking, but you can see. And I do love letters and a contract analysis. This stuff goes really, really deep. So I'm gonna be real. The contract analysis is the biggest reading I have. It's 90 minutes. I think there might be like 100 cards in it. But it goes over everything about you and your twin flame, top to bottom. It's pretty invasive, so I'm gonna warn you. There's personal readings like for the divine feminine, or there's DM readings where you can get a reading about your person. There's video chats, but I really don't like doing those. I'm just not a video person, guys. Like, this is cool, but I'm not, I think I've had one FaceTime and it was like forced. I don't like it. I don't do Zooms. If we do Zoom, it's just going to be audio. So if you see that these are sold out, it's because I've made it like that. And then I have courses. A lot of people want to know how to work from home, how to have their own YouTube channel or a social media channel, how to start a business, how to publish a book. I have things that anytime I learn how to do it, I share with you. That's what I have to offer. If you want to work with me, you just got to figure out, do I want to talk to her on the phone? Do I want a recorded reading that I can watch at my leisure because maybe I'm nervous or I don't have time? That's it. I just want to make sure that if there is a divine feminine out there who has been struggling and you feel like no one can help you, that you know that's not true. Because some of you don't even need to order the session. Just knowing that I'm here feels like, okay, wait a minute. I don't want you to feel alone. I don't want you to feel stuck. I don't want you to feel like this is your lot in life and divine has put you here to ruin your. No, these are lies. And I don't know who made any of you think that that's what divine does. And again, if we have different beliefs about like predestination and free will and all that, fine. But still, why would you believe in that? That just horrible. I don't understand it. There's not too many religions out there where it's actually like bad like that. But twin flames is like a tricky concept that can become a religion, that can become an idol, and that can become something very sucky and negative in people's life and just suck all their energy out. Don't let that happen to you. Don't let this be your lot. This is not the end. There is so much more ahead. And we haven't even begun to talk about your divine masculine. We're just talking about for you. Okay. Passionate rant over. I love you. If you need me, let me know. My website's in the comments and in the description. My email, thefierygrace@gmail.com. I cannot always reply because every time I tell people my email, I usually get about 50 emails that week. And no one sends me one or two sentences. No one just says, hey, Grace, how's it going? It's usually, I'm going to tell you my entire journey. Here's my novel. I'm really sorry it was so long. So I can't always respond. However, for many of you, just typing that message out and knowing someone might read it can be so healing. So damn it, type it up. I want you to be free. That's what I want most of all for all of you, is the freedom that twin flames can bring, not the heaviness that the tricky twin flame stuff can bring into your life. That is not cool. I'll talk to you later. If you made it all the way to the end, I want you to write one reason why twin flames is a beautiful, powerful thing in your life. One reason why even if it's because I know my person, is because I get to, know who the love of my life is before we get together. Like, even if it's something like that, I don't care if it's about your DM when it comes to that. Why do you care about twin flames? Why is twin flames a good thing for you? Leave that in the comments. Okay, I'll talk to you later for real. Bye.